Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this reading, I'm going to be doing a month ahead reading from May for the Gemini personality. So looking at big themes, looking at the energies, looking at breakthroughs, things to look forward to, and guidance of how to navigate this month ahead. So I'm going to be using the Aleister Crowley Thoth Deck to do the reading, and then I'm also going to use some oracle cards, the Work Your Light deck oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell, to give further sort of guidance for the month ahead. And if you like either of these decks, the link is in the description below so you can get some for yourself. Okay, so without further ado, looking at the main themes for Gemini in May, please. Something that's worth mentioning as well, actually I'm just going to stop for a second, is that Jupiter is going into Gemini in May. So it's going to be, Jupiter sort of stations in a sign for about, I don't know, I think it can be quite a long time, like about a year or so, or longer sometimes. So this is quite a big astrological event for you because it's happening in your sign. So that's something that feels important to mention here. Okay, so big themes for Gemini. And Jupiter rules like abundance, plenty. Oh, hello. That's one. Take that one as well. Thank you. Okay, I'll have one more card, please. Yes, okay. Interesting. So first of all, we've got the Lovers. So having a look at that. This is also your card. So see there, we've got the Gemini glyph. So this is so all the major arcana in tarot. Sorry, my nose is really itchy. Do apologize. So in the major arcana, all of the cards correspond to either like a zodiac sign or maybe a planet or an element, and yours is the Lovers. So this is something about you this month. It's like, yeah, okay. So having a look at that, see what comes through for you. And then we've also got here the Three of Swords. So looking at that, seeing what comes through. Then we've got here Ten of Wands. And finally, we've got Knight of Wands. Ooh, sorry, jumped out of my hand there. Knight of Wands. So I'm going to look at that. Okay, so interesting. I'm going to start with actually the Ten of Wands here. So it feels... Actually, I'm going to start with these two together because I feel like they're speaking to a very similar thing here. So it feels like with May, just as I mentioned there, we've got Jupiter entering Gemini. Jupiter is the planet of a lot. It's a planet of plenty. It's the planet of abundance. It's the planet of optimism. And it's also the planet of things being busy, okay? So with 10 of Wands here, it feels like you're going to be very busy, and you're just going to be charging ahead with things. So it does feel like 10 of Wands speaks of a few things. So sometimes it can be, where are you being overly hard on yourself? Just being mindful that you might be putting an awful lot of pressure on yourself this month ahead. And I'm a Gemini and I can feel that, to be honest, very much. So this sort of like wanting to keep going and pushing forward, and it can be quite stressful. In traditional tarot, this is a man like holding a bunch of wands, right? It's all 10 together, and it's like trying to juggle lots of things, and it can be like great because you get a lot done, but it can also be quite stressful. Now, sometimes I think the positive of this is that like the things that you care about do cause you stress as well. You know, sometimes like if you're really going forth with some projects and stuff, there is going to be an element of stress that comes with that. It's like, yes, it's good, and yes, we want it, and it's going to be potentially stressful. And that's okay. Like, that's kind of normal and part of the course. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some other cards telling us to also just make sure we don't burn out. Because I often feel like with Knight of Wands, while it's a very take the leap, kind of charge forth, go ahead, push forward energy, it can also burn out because it's fire, right? If you think about fire, fire burns quickly. If it was lit by paper, the paper would burn out fast. It's not that sustainable. Fire energy is not always as sustainable as, say, like earth, which is more sustaining, slow moving, but sustaining energy. So that feels like a really important part of this month here. So there's going to be a lot going on, a lot of trying to get shit done and potential here for like putting a lot of pressure on ourselves. So there's something there to watch out for. Then we've also got the Lovers here, which I think in this context is kind of speaking of like, there's going to be, this card speaks of inspiration, being open to inspiration, being innocent, childlike, and curious, which is very Gemini, right? Geminis are notorious for being sort of curious and playful and childlike. So there's going to be some of that stuff coming through, like things being very quick again, like feels fast acting. And it feels like there might be something here about, like, this is also known as the choice card, making choices, a need to make choices this month, and you being quite responsible for those choices, if that makes sense. That feels like quite a specific message for somebody, but it's like getting really aligned with our values and having to be very like clear on the decisions that we're making that align with our values. And then we've got here as well the Three of Swords. So for some of you, it feels like there might be a little bit of grieving that needs to happen this month, of like letting like something in the past, letting something go, that there's something that you might be having to move through your body and grieve and do the grieving process this month. So for some of you, that's going to be a bit of a thing. Let's see if more comes up for that. Curious, because it's quite different to the others. Okay, so big breakthroughs we're going to look at now for Geminis. So big breakthroughs for May, please. Okay, one more card, please. Oh, that one jumped out. Ah, I love this. Okay, two aces. Ace of Discs, Ace of Wands. So aces are always beginnings. We've got two aces, so definitely new beginning, very new beginnings, because aces are right at the beginning. So new beginnings in the realms of our physical world. So it could be money. You look at, there's a big coin on the front there. So new business, new career, new money opportunities coming in. Like, they might not be fully manifested yet, but there's new opportunities for these things to be coming in. And then with the Ace of Wands here, we've also got new creative inspiration. So again, that kind of corresponds to the Lovers here, inspiration, new kind of passion and excitement. Feels like it's going to be a very exciting month. That's what it feels like. Lots of excitement. So this also speaks of like, what we're passionate about, what we, it's also like the yes card in tarot. So like, yes, going ahead, like saying yes to things, which is possibly why we've got these here, because it feels like you're going to be saying yes a lot, and it's going to be like taking a lot of action. So big breakthroughs is that you might, because it's a breakthrough, it might be like you've been wanting a new idea for a while, or a creative spark, and it's suddenly like, I know what to do. It's that kind of aha moment, feels like. You might have big aha moments in May. Cool. Okay. So, oh gosh. Right, didn't even ask the question. So, something to look forward to. There it is. Oh, there's a few there. This is fascinating. Okay, got two cards. The Emperor and the Devil. All right, so something to look forward to. Interesting. So the Emperor, like, it kind of gives me a similar-ish energy to Knight of Wands. This card is ruled by Aries, so you've got the Aries glyph at the bottom. So very Aries energy, going forth, being the first of the zodiac, pushing forward. And so does the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is pushing forward. So something to look forward to is things going ahead, plans going ahead, having newfound courage as well, because I often feel like the Emperor represents like being courageous, being bold. So newfound courage here. And with the Devil being here, so I actually love the Devil, mate. That's like a weird thing to say when you say it out of context. I love the Devil card because the Devil, whenever the Devil shows up for me, it's a reminder to, how do I put this? It's like I have made certain commitments, and when the Devil shows up, it's like you have to pay like the price for the decisions that you have made, because the Devil speaks of like falling prey to temptation, addiction, that kind of thing of like not wanting to follow things through. But the Devil is the Capricorn card, the goat of Capricorn. Look at the goat there. It's a very phallic card as well. As you can see, it's very phallic. It's literally like clearly testicles and a penis. And we've got the Emperor here, which is like one of the most masculine cards as well, right? Look at that. It's reds and oranges of fire, masculine, like yang energy, and it's the Emperor, which is the man, right? The strong masculine archetype. So it feels like we are going to be able to overcome our own bullshit, frankly. You know, like, because you sort of like, sometimes you make commitments and then you like flake out. And it's like saying we're going to be able to push through our own limitations. Yes, that's what it is. We're going to be able to push our own limitations, and we're going to follow through. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the daddy that's always like the sky daddy that's like, follow through on your commitments. Like, you made a commitment, make a plan, follow it through. Like, if you said you were going to go to the gym 3 times a week, go to the gym 3 times a week. There's something about following through. So it's going to be easier for us to follow through, which makes so much sense, right? Because we've got here these. It's like, yeah, and actually you might be so good at it that you put an enormous amount of pressure on yourself, and you have to be mindful of not burning out because you are so able to charge forth this month, because Jupiter's going to be here to help us to move forward and to keep going. It's like pushing on. So, guidance for Geminis, please. What is the guidance for Geminis for May, please? What is the general guidance? Take that. One more card, please. I don't really want it to come out that much. Interesting. Take that one. Yeah, okay. So, we've got here Princess of Discs. And we've also got Two of Swords piece. So I'm feeling a few things with this. So the first one here, discs is like pentacles in traditional tarot, and it rules like the earth, right? So when it's Princess of Discs, or like, yeah, when it's Princess of Discs, it's often like try and take a more grounded approach this month. With so much wands here, it might be quite hard to stay grounded, and we're going to need this because we've also got the Devil here that's like Saturn, Capricorn, grounded, taking grounded action. So yes, go ahead, and we need to make sure that we're like being practical in it. Yeah, this is what it is. Feels like this is very much about being practical. So taking, like, if you're making plans, like, are they practical? Can you actually do them? Rather than like just like taking action without really thinking about the practical aspects of it. Like, is this viable? Is this possible? Is this going to burn me out? So yeah, taking a practical approach. And then it feels like there's also going to be a need to prioritize peace within all this, because there's going to be so much like push and go energy. We need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves through this time as well, because it is going to be easy to not do that. So prioritizing peace, inner peace, and being very clear with our decisions. That feels important as well, because again, with the Lovers here, that was also about making a decision, a choice. So it's about being very like grounded in our decisions, and not just like, because Aries can be sort of like act first, think later, and it feels like the guidance is saying don't do that. Yes, take action, but don't think about things a little bit first, think things through a little bit before we make big decisions that are going to take up an awful lot of time, and we might be spinning our wheels a little bit. Like, otherwise, yeah, we could just be taking a lot of action that's actually not constructive action, and it's just burning us out instead of being useful, like moving the needle. That's what I was looking for, the expression. It's not actually moving the needle. You can just be doing a lot of busy work and not doing stuff that's like, is this the thing that I need to do to move forwards? If that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to pull some more oracle cards now. Just move these out of the way. Using the Work Your Light deck. Give these a good shuffle. Okay, so additional guidance for Gemini, please, for May. Interesting. Okay, I'll show them in a second. Just pull a few. So interesting. Okay. Right. Interesting. Okay, so here we've got the Great Gathering. It's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. Finding your people. That's what really feels like it's coming through with this. So soul tribe, right? You can't do this alone, right? Again, the image on the Rider-Waite deck is a man carrying all the sticks. Don't do it all alone. Ask for help as much as you can where possible. Don't carry all the burden yourself, because you're probably going to feel inclined to do that this month. So getting help, listening to your intuition, it's all coming together. I love this as well, because it's about remembering, like, yes, it's going to be stressful, but like good things sometimes are stressful, right? And it's about reminding ourselves that it is like it's all working, and just like when things feel tough and things feel stressful, it's like it's coming together, things are working out, it's okay. There's a reason I'm so busy at the moment, and like it's not always going to be this intense, but for now, yes, it is. So just staying in that kind of mindset. And then interestingly, we've got two very similar cards here. We've got answer the call, what is your soul calling you to do? And Warrior Woman, have you answered your deepest calling? So this is interesting. For some of you, there's still a need to listen to what your soul is asking you to do. There's a calling that might come through this month. It might not have even happened yet, like this month ahead. You might get a new calling in the month of May, and it's about listening to that and trusting what it's asking you to do, because there's two of these, it feels very, very important, that this is quite significant. And are you veering off the path in all of this busy work, keeping yourself really, really busy? But is it on the right things? That's what it is. We need to be very mindful that we're busy on the right things. It's okay to be busy, but don't waste your time on things that aren't important. Get aligned with your values first. Get aligned with what you actually want, what matters to you, and then start getting busy taking action, but only if it's in alignment. Otherwise, you're just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff, and it's going to tire you out. And that's not what we need. That's not the purpose of this energy, because there's so much Jupiter. You might just feel like I'll just be busy for the sake of it. No, we need grounded, practical, aligned action. And then at the bottom of the deck here, we've got take a break, which is interesting because it feels like the antithesis of everything I've been saying. But it does feel like you're gonna, again, this burnout that I was saying right at the beginning is a very real possibility. So I don't feel like it's saying take the month off, although that would be lovely, obviously. But it's about, you are going to need to take a break at some point because it's going to be a lot. And if you're starting to feel a lot of exhaustion at some point in the month, that's your cue to take a break. Like, you need to not let all of this sort of busy energy make you keep going when you don't have the capacity for it. So listening to your body when it's saying like, I'm exhausted, I need a minute, and taking that break, because life, it's a life's work. This is your life's work. Yeah, yes, okay. So whatever it is that you're embarking upon, a soul mission isn't just like a quick project that's done and over with. This is like a lifetime thing. This is something that's going to continue going for a long time, right? So we need to take breaks because it's not going to just suddenly end. It's not like, oh, like then it's going to be done and then I'm never going to do it again. It's like, no, like this is a continued thing. So it's a life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill is saying, it's going to, yeah, we're going to need to take breaks because there's always going to be stuff to do. There's always going to be things to do. And if we just keep trying to get to the next thing so that we can get our to-do list down, then we're not actually going to be able to like ever rest. There's not ever going to be a chance to rest. So just when you need it, when your body is telling you that it's done in, listen. Take the break. Start again when you feel refreshed again, and that kind of thing. It's okay. It won't fall apart if you take a minute. That's important to hear, that it won't fall apart if you take a minute to rejuvenate and reset. Right, I think that's everything for Geminis. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was helpful and interesting. If you did like it, please feel free to like and comment. I love hearing what's going on for you guys and having conversations in the comment section. And if you want more of this content going forward, subscribing is the best way to get more of this. So subscribe and you will get more content. Thank you again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.